Okay, for this video, we'll be having several examples of subqueries using MySQL. So the objectives is for us to be able to use subqueries in our SQL query or MySQL query. So given we have here two tables. We have the emp table and the depth table. So the emp table contains the following fields. We have employee number or empno, e-name for employee name, depno for department number, salary, MGR for the manager, hire date, and then the commission. And then in the depth table now contains the following fields. We have depno, dname, and log. So depno is our primary key here, and here depno is our foreign key. So taking a look at the records of both table, so I should here select asterisk from M, so I have here the records. And then here I should select asterisk from depth, and I have here the records of the depth table. Okay, so let's have our first example. Display the names and salaries of employees with salary higher than the salary of rows. So here we should know first the salary of rows before we can have the query. So there are several ways to solve this. So let's open my MySQL. So one way is first to know the salary of rows. This is maybe the longer method. So first we display the salary of rows. So we have here select salary from M where e-name is equal to rows. And we now know that the salary of rows is 8,000. Then after that, we display the name and salary of employees. So where salary is higher than 8,000. So that's possible. Okay, because that's the problem. Display the names and salaries of employees with salary higher than the salary of rows, and the salary of rows is 8,000. So our query will be, first we got the salary of rows, which is 8,000, and then next we issued a query displaying the name and salary of employees whose salary are higher than 8,000. So once we display that, so we have here the result set of the query. So that's one way of solving that problem. But another way is of course to make use of subquery. Again, a subquery is a query inside another query. So we have the inner query and the outer query, and the subquery or the inner query should always be enclosed in parentheses. So let's try to solve the same problem now using subquery. So we have here select e-name salary from M. So here our subquery is in our where clause. So where salary is higher than, so we can have here our subquery wherein we have to get the salary of rows. So select salary from M where e-name is equal to rows. So that's another way of solving that problem. So here we have a query. We have our inner query inside another query. So this is our outer query. So once we click or once we press enter key, so you notice that the result will be the same. But again, the first one is we use actually two queries here, or we issued the command twice, but here we only issue the command once by using a subquery. Okay, so try to analyze the solution. Okay, so let's proceed to the next example. So next example is display the names. Oh, by the way, in our first example, this is an example wherein we only have a single value from this. So we have only a single value. And we'll be using different operator if this subquery returns multiple values. Display the names and salaries and commission of employees with salaries higher than the average salary of all employees. So again, we can get the average salary. Then after that, we get the query. So we can use again two queries, just like what I did in my previous example. But instead, let's now go directly to the solution. So similar, but the salary should be higher than the average salary of all employees. So what will be our query? So we have here select. So what will be displayed? Name, salary, and commission. So we have select, e-name, salary, and commission. Okay, from M, where the salary should be what? Higher. So it says here higher than the average salary. So we have here greater than. So what is the average salary? So we can get the average salary through another query. So we have here select average salary from M. So that will be our solution. So we have here our inner query wherein we solve or we displayed or we obtained the average salary of all the employees. So select e-name, salcom from M, where salary is higher than the average salary of all the employees. So that will be the result of our query. So let's, if you're curious, let's try to look at the average salary. So the average salary is around 7,200. So you notice, excuse me, that all salaries displayed here are above 7,200. So that's example number 2. Again, in this query, this returns a single value. So let's proceed to the next example. Display the names and salaries of employees from Department 2 and 3 whose salary is higher than the highest salary of those from Department 1. So display the names and salaries of employees from Department 2 and 3 whose salary is higher than the highest salary of those from Department 1. So there are two ways we can solve this one. I'll be showing you both. Or actually several ways, but I'll be showing two solutions using subqueries. So one is we have to know the highest salary of Department 1. And then based from that, we display the what? We display the names and salaries of employees from Department 2 and 3. So we have here select e-name, salary. Am I right? Okay. From M, where salary is higher than, or okay, department number is not in 1 or 2 or 3. Is it 2 or 3? Yes. No, it's wrong. Where department number is not equal to 1 and salary is higher than, so salary is higher than the highest salary from Department 1. So salary is higher than, so we have here our select query, select max salary from M where department number is equal to 1. So this will give us the highest salary from department number 1, and this will display the names of employees from department 1 and 2, so that is not equal to 1, with salary higher than the highest salary of department 1. So that will give us this result. So that is the first solution. So again, this one returns a single value, but we can have another solution, also a sub-query. Let's say, for example, I didn't use max salary. I just use select salary from M. So if I do that, the query will return several values. So let's play that, select salary from M where depth no is equal to 1. So that will return several salaries. So it's still, I'm solving the same problem. So it says here again, so let's read the problem. Higher than the highest salary, so higher than all of the salaries of department 1. So what we can do here is to create this query, select ename salary from M where depth no is not equal to 1, and salary, so I can place here greater than all. So if you use greater than all, that means greater than the highest value. Then I have here select salary from M where depth no is equal to 1. So you notice here I use greater than all because we cannot use greater than if this subquery returns multiple values or multiple rows. But since I use greater than all, that is the same as greater than the highest salary here. So you notice it gives us the same result. So I use greater than all. We can also use greater than any, lesser than any, greater than all, or you in. So these are the operators we can use if our subquery returns multiple values. Okay, let's proceed to the next example. So actually the same. Display the names and salaries of employees from department 2 and 3. So the same, whose salary is higher than the lowest salary of those from department 1. So instead of the highest salary, higher than the lowest. So that means what? What will be our query? So to do that, again, let's try to examine the salary. Select asterisk, select salary from M where depth no is equal to 1. So the lowest salary here is 4.5. So everything that is higher than 4.5 should be displayed because it says here the salary is higher than the lowest salary from those from department number 1. So the value that will be displaying should be the names and salaries of employees whose salary is higher than 4,500. So how are we going to do that? Again, we can use two methods, but okay, let's use first method first. So select ename salary from M where depth no is not equal to 1, and salary is what? Higher than. So we have select mean sal from M where depth no is equal to 1. So that's one method wherein our subquery returns a single value. So that will be the result. So you notice that all of these employees here have a salary higher than 4,500, which is our lowest salary. So what if we use the other method? So select ename salary from M, where depth no is not equal to 1 and salary is greater than, so greater than the minimum. So if we use greater than all, that means higher than or higher than the maximum or the highest. If you use greater than any, then that means higher than the lowest. So select salary from M, where depth no is equal to 1. So again, this query returns multiple rows. So we could not use just greater than, but we can use greater than any, greater than all. So these are the operators that we can use if our subquery returns multiple values. So if we're going to look at the result set is actually the same. Okay, so that's our fourth example. Okay, so let's proceed with our next example. So display the name, the salary, and the difference between the salary and the average salary of the department where he belongs. That should place here a comma of all employees. So I'm going to display the name, salary, and the difference of all employees, and the difference between the salary and the average salary of the department where he belongs. So in this example now, we have a query, or what we call the correlated query. The value here in our outer query depends on the value that we can get on our subquery. So that's why we have here what we call a correlated queries. So let's try to solve. Select ename as name, salary as salary, or shall I say, let's just be safe. And then we have here E dot salary minus AVG salary as difference. Okay, so these are the rows or the columns that we will be displaying in our query. So from ME, and we have to join this one now. So inner join. So we have here now our sub query. Inner join, select depth no, and then we have here average salary as AVG sal from M. Let's call this as E1. Okay, so we have here our two from closest because we have inner join, so we have E and E1. So I should place E1 on average sal, but anyway, it's unique, so maybe this will work. So we have E1 on. So how do we join them? E dot depth no should be equal to E1 dot depth no. Okay, so you notice here that the result here, we need that in the outer query. So that means now that what we have here is what we call the correlated queries. So let's place here semicolon. Okay, so let's see. Press enter key. Oh wait, I think I missed something. So let's try to repeat. So we have here select ename the same from M. I should have place here group by depth. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot to place group by ethno. So this returns only a single value instead of 3 values, or instead of the values for each of the department. So on e.depthno is equal to e1.depthno. So this will now be my result. Okay. So if you want to verify, let's add one field here, e.depthno as department number, and then we also add here the average salary, just for us to check average salary. Okay, and then so from ME inner join, select depthno average salary as average salary from M group by depthno. Okay, then on depthno equals e1.depthno. So for department 1, the average salary is 7,620. As you check, all those from department 1 have an average of 7,620. For 2, it is 69. So 2, 69, 69, 69. For 3, we have 70, 40, 70, 40, 70, 40, 70, 40, 70, 40. Then this is a salary, so we just subtract. Then these are the values, and those with negative are those with salary lesser than the average salary. Okay, so that is now our query. Okay, so that should be it for our example. So thank you very much for viewing this video.